Good morning, Vaqueros. Today is Monday, September 30th, and it is currently 94 degrees outside. We're coming to you live from our Edinburgh studio. I'm Joseph Zambrano.
And I'm Mariana Galladro.
And this is Vaquero News.
Campus news,
events, games,
and activities
all in one place.
This is Vaquero Radio,
the Val's student station.
Monday and Wednesday at 11 a.m.
Vaquero Radio,
where
your story begins.
Student organizations united to host a Loteria Bash Thursday to bring students by honoring their Hispanic heritage. Here's Celeste Cruz with the details.
6 organizations hosted the Loteria Bash on Thursday to entertain students, honor their Hispanic heritage, and to raise funds. Jacob Villarreal, a nutritional sciences major who is an ambassador for the Center for Innovation and Commercialization, coordinated the event, which was part of the university's observance of Hispanic Heritage Month.
The reason I managed this event made this event is to bring organizations in, fundraise, because not all of the organizations could do their conferences or their meetings because of the lack of funds that they get from the student government or SGA or from the school in general. So I just wanted to give them the opportunity and to celebrate with Hispanics as well.
Andrea Maldonado, a political science and economics junior and president of the Rio Grande Valley Model United Nations, mentioned the goal they want to achieve through the fundraiser.
I mean, we do have a pretty big goal. We're fundraising to help fund our competitions coming up in November and next March to New York and UTSA.
Marcela Gracia, an accounting senior and vice president of Beta Alpha Psi, the only honor society in Robert C. Vaquero College of Business and Entrepreneurship, said the event not only benefits the students, but it is also a way to be proud of being Hispanic.
I get to demonstrate my culture in a very fun way. I love to speak Spanish. I'm always speaking Spanish, and it's helped me a lot in my career because I work with a lot of businesses in Mexico, and it allows me to grow professionally.
Diana Villarreal, an international business freshman and risk management officer for the Hospitality and Tourism Management Student Organization, said the club is raising funds to provide food for students during meetings and to help them attend conferences. Stephanie Mendez, manager of the Center for Innovation and Commercialization, said the center will use the funds raised from the event to host upcoming events. Jimena Rocha, a finance senior and president of the Economics and Finance Society, said the organization participated to raise funds for its members to prepare for jobs.
We want to get students more involved in for us in finance, it's really competitive getting into the finance industry, like in a job. So we want to prepare them for that. So with certificates and licenses, perhaps, and conferences outside of the valley.
Students who want to pursue a career in business and gain experience can learn more about these organizations through V-Link. Most of the organizations are planning to host upcoming events, such as a scary movie night at the Quad, a Halloween haunted house in October, and other holiday-related events. This is Celeste Cruz for Vaquero Radio.
Patrick Gonzalez gives details about how UTRGV has been awarded a $30 million grant to open a new clinic that will be dedicated to helping people with diabetes. Here's Celeste Cruz with the story.
UTRGV has been awarded a $30 million grant from the Valley Baptist Legacy Foundation to help establish the Diabetes Center of Excellence in Harlingen. UTRGV will fight against this disease that has been affecting many residents of the Rio Grande Valley. Patrick Gonzalez, Vice President for Marketing and Communications at UTRGV, explained how this clinic will help the community.
The goal of this Diabetes Center of Excellence is really to do two things, to catch it early and to do as much as we can in the early stages of diabetes to help patients combat the disease. And secondly, to preserve any limbs once the disease has progressed and we have patients who fall in that area.
The Diabetes Center of Excellence will include a limb preservation clinic that will focus on helping patients avoid major amputations. This future clinic will not only help out the patients, but also UTRGV students by opening many new opportunities for students in many colleges that may be involved in operating the clinic.
Eventually, it'll also help our students because we will have students in these schools and colleges either working or undergoing clinical rotations at this facility. We create these health centers that, first of all, are dedicated to helping the UTRGV or helping the RGV community and providing health care in specific areas. but we're also an academic institution. So we build these facilities also to keep in mind our students who are majoring in some of our health professions and allowing them to work, to shadow doctors, to do clinicals.
He mentioned the resources the clinic will provide the patients.
It'll be focused on prevention. So we'll have a clinic in the center devoted to prevention. We'll have our School of Social Work will be there. So that's where they will come in and help have these discussions with patients about diabetes, what they can do to help change it or to combat it, and any psychological struggles one might have after being diagnosed. And so there's the prevention aspect of it, and then there's the limb preservation aspect of it as well.
According to the UTRGV Border Health Office and Unidos contra Diabetes, which is a community partner, 25% of the valley's population is living with diabetes, and nearly 30% are close to pre-diabetic. This means that half of the valley's population is at risk of diabetes-related complications. The clinic will serve the whole valley community that suffers from diabetes. The health facility will be completed and operating in about 3 to 5 years, Gonzalez said. He said there will be a groundbreaking ceremony and a ribbon-cutting ceremony when the clinic is completed. The clinic will accept all health insurances. This is Celeste Cruz for Vaquero Radio.
And McLean goes up and throws down a monster dunk. That fires up the UTRGV Fieldhouse.
And now time for Vaquero Sports.
A business student has made a lot of progress in the past 2 years with being the owner and promoter of his own wrestling business. Here is Victoria Gonzalez with more.
A UTRGV student is the promoter and owner of Combat Cult Wrestling and aims to highlight local talent by putting them up against the biggest wrestlers in Texas. Accounting junior Eddie Garza started off his journey by learning the business side of wrestling when he worked for security at Wrestling Revolution in 2018. But it was during 2021 when Garza started to put his wrestling business in motion and landed his first show the following year and has been doing at least one show a month since. He does a lot more than just promoting. He keeps up with finances, puts matches together, contacts wrestlers, and manages the social media pages. He said every other wrestling promotion has, quote, their own kind of flavor, end quote, but he says that what makes his promotion unique is highlighting local wrestlers against bigger talents.
I try to bring some more experienced wrestlers down here to mix it up with our experienced wrestlers and some of our newer wrestlers to get them ready for the big stage whenever their chance comes up.
During the coronavirus pandemic, Garza received a stimulus check and used that money to buy his own ring. He wanted to use the ring to have someone train him, but he realized he did not have enough time for this. However, he still felt there was unfinished business.
I took the opportunity, started my own LLC, gathered some of the most prominent minds here in the Valley to kind of mentor me and kind of let me know a little bit more of the business side of wrestling.
Managing finances tends to be difficult. Garza said a big part of this is talent fees.
We want to pay them fairly because they're risking their lives and their bodies here sometimes. It can be a little hectic, but you got to find ways to generate revenue so that way you can also pay your expenses.
The first TWL Diamond of the South champion and New Breed champion, Chris Austin, said wrestling is harder mentally.
Been doing it for 7 years, and there's always these thoughts of maybe I'm not good enough. A lot of wrestlers, I know, me personally too, we struggle with anxiety, depression. At the end of the day, when you see those fans, those kids that, kind of remind me of myself when I first started wrestling, their excitement, it makes it all worth it.
Generally, tickets are a bit pricey per person, but Garza makes an exception for families.
We do know that, sometimes it's hard for families to be able to afford a ticket. We try to cater to some of those people, bring out the families. It's a little bit more affordable if it's, $5 or even free.
Currently, the business is traveling from venue to venue. In 10 years, Garza hopes to have his own sports auditorium.
Hopefully in 10 years, we'll have a facility where we can train, facility where we can host shows. I would like to have my own sports auditorium.
35-year-old Borracho world champion Burke Savage said his main goal is to leave the wrestling industry better than how he first found it and to create new wrestlers to take his place when he is gone.
the way the business goes, it's really rough to get into and it's really rough to maintain. Nowadays, there's a lot of attempt from like fan to getting into wrestling just to say they do it, and they don't have the passion that it actually takes to be a wrestler. It's a big sport that people enjoy, but it's also a tight-knit community where you want to be able to encourage the younger people that are around to be better. And a lot of the times, it's not always like that.
Combat Cult Wrestling's next show will be at 4 p.m. October 20th at the Senor Barbas Patio Bar in Westlaco. Admission is $5 and free for children 12 and under. For more information, visit at Combat Cult Wrestling on all social media platforms. This is Victoria Gonzalez for Vaquero Radio.
Newton drops straight back towards a crossing route. McCaffrey, touchdown. That's big time.
Good morning, Vaqueros. This is Jan Trejo with this week's sports schedule. On Tuesday, October 1st, the UTRGB women's golf team will participate in the Diane Thomason Invitational on Iowa City. Another game that you don't want to miss is on Thursday, October 3rd. The UTRGB volleyball team will play against Incarnate Word at San Antonio, Texas. Later in the afternoon, another game that you don't want to miss is at 6:30 p.m. The UTRGB women's soccer team will play against Houston Christian at the UTRGB Soccer and Track and Field Complex. And for more information, visit goutrgb.com. Don't forget to support your student athletes. And remember, visa up!
And now for this week's events calendar. Hey Vaqueros, let's take a look at this week's events calendar. To start off the week, we have Sundays on Mondays from noon to 1 at both student unions. Tuesday, also on both campuses' game rooms, a Mortal Kombat tournament will be hosted from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. And on Wednesday, at 11:30 to 1:30, Sigma Lambda and Gamma will be hosting a hot chocolate fundraiser at the Edinburgh Quad. Finally, on Friday, Baja's racing team will be also hosting a snack bar fundraiser at the engineering building from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. That is the events for this week's Vaqueros. Don't forget to bring your student ID to all UTRGV events. This is Ariana Galladro for Vaquero Radio.
And now, for this week's campus weather report.
Hello everyone, let's jump into this week's weather forecast. Expect mainly sunny skies with a high of 97 degrees on Monday. It will be generally sunny with a peak near 95 degrees on Tuesday. Sunshine will come through with a high of 93 degrees on Wednesday. Partly cloudy skies on Thursday and a few showers later in the day with a peak of 91 degrees. Rain showers in the morning become more discontinuous in the afternoon on Friday with a high of 90 degrees. Make sure to dress accordingly with these weather conditions. This is Celeste Cruz for Vaquero Radio.
That is the newscast for this week.
Remember to read our news articles every week on our website, utrgvradio.com.
Tune in to Vaquero Radio on our website for the best DJ shows around campus. Also, don't forget to visit our YouTube channel for our latest news from UTRGV and the Valley.
Our weekly newscast will also be broadcasted at 11 a.m. every Wednesday.
Join us next week, same time, same place.
Only on Vaquero Radio, the Valley's student station.
Thanks for tuning in, Vaqueros. Don't forget to saddle up every Monday and Wednesday at 11 a.m. And remember, visa up!